bouncing back from redundancy. Now, in this economic climate, a lot of people are unfortunately losing their jobs. And to be honest, no one is actually safe. If you work for corporate or if you work for any kind of business, your job's not always as secure as you might think it is. So today, Ricky and I are going to discuss how to bounce back from redundancy and what we would do if we found ourselves in that position. So Ricky, have you ever been made redundant? And if yes or no, what would you do if you were made redundant tomorrow? Two-part question.
I was just going to say, you had me a bit gobsmacked. Two-part question. First part, have I ever been made redundant? No.
No?
Not that I'm aware of, not unless someone tricked.
I think you would be aware of it.
Not unless they tricked me into thinking it was my idea to leave, and they're sort of secretly thinking, yes, he's left. But apart from that, no, I have not been made redundant.
Not formally?
Not formally, no. What would I do?
If you were made redundant
So the question, if you were made, do I get notice, or I've just got no job tomorrow?
Well, like tomorrow, they pull you into the office and they're like, Ricky, we're going to have to let you go. There's a restructuring happening. You've got, 4 weeks and we'll give you a little payout.
Cool. Awesome.
What would you do? What would be the next steps you take?
Sweet. So in that scenario, I think I would...
Yell abuse at the person in front of you?
No.
No?
No.
You'd keep it cool, calm and collected?
I would keep cool, calm and collected, then go to the watering hole and start talking shit behind their back.
Oh, like the watering hole? In Africa. You would travel to Africa, you would go say hello to all the wildebeests, and
Yes.
you would tell them.
Yep, I would complain to the wildebeest and the tigers and the leopards. I would... it's never personal. Like getting made redundant or having a restructure is never personal, right? It's just business.
But it feels very
It does.
your livelihood is at risk.
It does feel personal when you've got bills to pay and you've got people that depend or dependencies on you making an income. But once you get past it, it's not personal. It's it's business. For me personally, I've never been in that situation, but I would like to think that I would jump on to Seek, Trade Me, and look at job options. I think it'll be a good point or a start for me to reevaluate, is this a fresh start? Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing now? Do I want to look into other options? Do I want to try something different? Do I want to go back and learn?
It's a good reset opportunity.
Yeah, I mean...
Good time to take stock of what makes you happy.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm fortunate we've got Kee-Sue Creative, another plug. So we plug Kee-Sue Creative every podcast.
You do, yes.
I think
This podcast is not sponsored by Kee-Sue Creative Photography and Videography.
I think it's fortunate that I've got that, because I'm in a position where if I did get made redundant, it's like, okay, do I put all my time and effort into this because I know I can get an income? But I would definitely look on Seek and Trade Me for a opportunity, and also reevaluate, where I am currently in my life and what I want to do moving forward. Because it's a good excuse to reset, right? It's not someone's forcing you to literally have a reset. So
Yeah. It's being forced upon you.
the excuse of, I need, I can't look at this, I need to make money, but now you physically have to, have
Now
a
you
look.
have to make a choice. What are you going to do next?
Yeah.
Basically.
That's what I'll do, and that's what I think I'd like to say I'll do, but I've never been put in that situation.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, I know have been put in that situation. So
I have
so
joined the redundancy.
I'm not going to ask you a 2-part question. I'll ask you a 1-part question.
Because you already know that I have been made redundant.
Yes,
in the
I do.
past.
Yep.
Not currently.
No, but how did you handle?
I'm what's around the corner. No, just kidding.
How did you handle getting told that you had to give your notice and you'd no longer have a job after a couple of weeks?
Well, I didn't have to give my notice. They gave me notice. But yeah, it was a horrible thing to get. I went to meet my boss at the time for our one-on-one, and he scheduled it for like 4:00 in the afternoon.
What a dick move, boss. Sorry, any bosses that schedule meetings 4 after, no, I shouldn't say that.
So 4:00 in the afternoon meeting, which was quite unusual. And I was like, oh, what a dickhead. That's my eating into my pub time. But anyway, so I went and met him, and there was someone there I've never met who was from HR. And it was never good if you walk into a room unexpectedly seeing HR sitting there instead of your boss. That is not a good sign.
Just going to stop you there. Question: if you're walking into that situation, anyone that owns a company, aren't you supposed to be given the option to bring a support person?
I was not given the option. It was completely blindsided.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be given.
Maybe in the UK there's different roles.
Okay. If someone knows the answer in New Zealand,
If there's someone from HR listening, let us know. Are you meant to give people a heads up? Or I have no idea.
Because we could sue this UK company. I'm just thinking mega bucks here. Anyway, so carry on.
It's completely uninteresting to me. So I walked into the room and I was like, oh, there's an HR person here. And I knew there was heaps of restructuring happening because a lot of people I already knew had been made redundant. So I kind of had it in the back of my mind, I might be getting made redundant leading up to that, but it actually happened. And I just felt like, so you just feel like fight or flight mode. You're like, shit, I'm literally about to lose my job. I'm living in London. I am not a permanent resident. I will not get welfare. Plus the pandemic is starting to kick off. This was when COVID was a thing and was just starting and ramping up. And it was very hard to get home at that time. And I was like, oh God, I'm pretty completely fucked. And stuck in London with no job.
Lack of a better word.
Yeah, excuse my English, but I was essentially fucked. And like, I didn't take it badly. I was just, I like to think I was quite nice to the person who told me I was being made redundant. And after that, I just we went into lockdown like immediately. The week after, basically, we're in lockdown, and I was like, shit, we can't actually get home. And I'm going to get stuck in London with no income, with really high rent, and stuck in this tiny apartment.
No, it was a room.
Well, it was a room within a tiny apartment. But that time was extremely stressful. Not only was I made redundant, but also there was a pandemic happening that I had no idea how to navigate. But the first thing I did was, what skills and expertise do I have that I can monetize? Because if I'm going to have to get stuck in London with no income and you don't have any welfare, I need to make this work. I need to find a source of income. So the first thing I did was start my own marketing consultancy. I tapped into my network and people that I knew, and I got my first couple of clients within a couple of weeks, and that was amazing. It tied me over. Obviously, in the interim, I was still looking for jobs online, and also I was binge coursing,
Yes.
I did 8 courses in the space of a month and upskilled the shit out of myself, so that I think, to be honest, I felt like crap for being made redundant, like there was something wrong with me and my abilities, that I really had to kind of prove something to myself that I wasn't a shit employee. So yeah, I just went full handy on upskilling and getting all the knowledge and just working really, really hard. But that was out of a place of, I have to get clients and make this work, otherwise I literally will have no income and stuck in London. So that was my experience getting made redundant. You get a nice little payout, which is a good thing, but it's not nice, like, to have the rug literally ripped from underneath you and you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. That's the number one thing you worry about, is I've got a lot of outgoings and I'm not going to have anything coming in. And so that's very stressful. It's really stressful. And there will be so many people out there right now who are going through that currently, where there's so many redundancies, so much restructuring happening. Every second person I talk to, it seems like their organisation or someone they know, their organisation's going through a restructuring. So it's happening, whether we like it or not. No one is safe, no matter what role you have. But I think what Ricky and I really want to talk about is, what do you do to prepare? And I'm not saying it's going to happen to everyone, but there is a likelihood that it's going to happen to quite a few people. So what do you do to prepare for that and make sure that it's not stressful, depressing, and you're just a pile of anxiety, and instead you come out better off? Because I think when you get made redundant, as Ricky, you said, it's a good time to reevaluate,
reset.
And it's a great time to be like, what are my values? What do I care about? What makes me happy and want to get up in the morning and go to work, and actually getting a really clear picture of what that looks like. Because while it sucks to be told, sorry, you don't have a job anymore, it's a great opportunity to actually work out, what do I really want to be doing? And it's a wonderful opportunity to really reassess and take stock of what makes you happy in a role, I think.
I agree. Don't do what you did and pick up you said upskilling. It was a habit that or an addiction of upskilling.
That's how I cope.
I know, but it's carried over for the last couple of years.
I love learning. I like learning more than the result. So poor Ricky, I do a new course, currently I'm studying hypnotherapy, so I do the most random courses. I love learning. It's interesting to me. I enjoy upskilling.
I know.
And it's not just because I want to get a better job. It's because, that's interesting. And it's like a value of mine, continuous learning. So, yeah. So you could shut up. What are your hobbies?
Drinking. It's not very good to shut up on a podcast. What I was thinking is, what did you say at the beginning of your spiel? Fight or flight, right?
Spiel. Anything I say is a spiel.
Spiel.
Podcast.
Fight or flight.
Flight. Yes, that's a response that we get when we're in a state of stress.
So, I mean, that's quite a good way to put it. Like, you're getting made redundant. You're getting told that you've got X amount of time to pack your desk up, put everything in a little box, and kindly fuck off.
Which is a great time to be job hunting, by the way. Use every minute of that time to find your next job.
I know, what are they going to do, fire you?
Yeah. Good luck.
But you're right. So for me, it's like, okay, reset. Is this what I want to do? But also keeping in mind, what else is out there? Like, what other things could I want to do? And lots of people sort of think, okay, it's too scary to take the risk, but you're sort of being forced into the opportunity where... forced into an opportunity where you can physically take a risk, because what have you got to lose? Try something you might fail at. You're going to lose your job here anyway.
Yes.
So, you might as well try.
You can't fail any worse than you just have.
Well, I mean, if you apply for something and try it and then you fail, you're still going to get some sort of an income, and then you're back in essentially the same position you were before, right? Where you've got the skill set to carry on. Yeah. So it's a good excuse or reason to reset and try again. I would probably, listening to you, try go out on my own and probably take Kee-Sue Creative a bit further, and also look at trying to start a couple of other things that I've got in the back of my mind up as well. And I'd look at probably trying something new. I mean, that's just the way my mind works. It's like everything is an opportunity. So instead of looking at it from a negative outcome. And I think the biggest thing is, do not burn bridges, right? So don't hold a grudge and say, when you leave, do that thing where you throw in the middle fingers up to everyone as you walk out of the office, because
business is business.
Because if that business starts picking up and that business starts booming, or whatever happens, or, that business says, hey, look, we are going into liquidation, but at the last day of your job, hey, I found someone down the road that'll be able to take you on for more money, and you've just flipped off your current employee, then that's not a good look. So if you keep all options open, and one thing I always say, and I've always said this, and I've been very transparent with all my current employers, so I don't know how I've got a job, is never say no to a cup of coffee. So if someone's going to offer you a job or want to talk to you about opportunity, never say no, because you don't want to burn bridges. Burning bridges isn't just, leaving a job on bad terms. It's when someone offers you an opportunity, it's how you reject that opportunity. You never know when that's going to pop up into something else, and you never know when that person might call you up one day, or you might call that person up and say, hey, guess what,
I've been made redundant. Can I please have a job?
Can you please save me?
Help me.
It's
yeah, you don't know what those conversations or those relationships are going to lead to. And one thing I've realized, that when you are up shit's creek and you do need help, like a job, you've been made redundant, your network is so, so helpful. Like, for example, I had a wonderful friend in London, and I told her, I feel like I might get made redundant sometime soon. And she was like, okay, let's start looking at things now. And she introduced me to some people, and she was the gateway to me getting my first couple clients. So it's all about the relationships you have, your network, because in those times of need, you need to have people that you can call on who know other people. And you never know what just a mention of, hey, I'm looking for a role, do you know anyone that's hiring someone of my skill set, what that can achieve.
Yeah, I love that. It's no one's out. Like, we said business is business, right? So people or companies will make a decision based on, company direction or company financial position, right? It's never personal, although we've discussed it sometimes feels personal.
It feels so personal. Like there's something wrong with you.
With saying that, people are still very much pro people.
They want to help you.
They do. So, if you...
As long as you're not an asshole.
I mean...
About it.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, how many people that have been made redundant, and this is a genuine question, I could sound like an idiot here, but how many people have genuinely say, hey, look, thanks for letting me know. Do you know anyone hiring any similar position in my skill set? You know, like literally asking the person that's making you redundant if they know anyone hiring. Like, is that such a silly thing to do?
Well, emotionally, but typically you've got to reapply for your own job, which is never a nice thing to do.
I know.
But yeah, just putting it out into the network and people you know.
Correct. You know, and
is a very smart thing to do if you're in that position.
We're definitely in an age where you could literally put a Facebook post up, is anyone hiring anyone and so, and you will get tagged by how many different people, and then that might end up with...
It's the place to be these days for that, for sure. There's so many posts that people being made redundant and they find opportunity.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, there is definitely jobs out there for the people that are keen, the people that are proactive, you know, and that's probably a good word to use. And
proactive is key. When you get made redundant, you have to then take action. You can't just have a pity party, like have a little pity party, invite your friends along, but then start taking action, because in order for you to change your outcomes and get a better job, you need to be putting yourself out there and putting in the work.
100%. You don't want to be reactive. You don't want to be swearing at your boss, wasting so much valuable time when you're getting paid, and, you know, complaining and saying, oh, why has this happened to me? This always happens to me, rah, 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 where you can be proactive and say, hey, look, accept the outcome.
Acceptance, I think, is key.
Still gutted, but, you know, we'll get by, because you've got a community of friends, you've got a community, like so many jobs always popping up. Just apply for one, take a risk, reevaluate. You might want to try something new. You might want to
start your own business.
You might want to start your own business. Then you can employ people that are unemployed, and you can start saving people that have redundancies, you know?
Yeah, pay it forward.
Exactly.
But I think the key takeaways for anyone listening, if you do get made redundant, I think try not to take it personally. It's really, really hard not to, but business is business. The business is obviously not financially performing if they have to make people redundant. So it's not about you, it's about them. Next thing is, what do you want to do? It's a great time, great opportunity to take stock of where you're at and what you really want to do and what makes you happy, and look for a role that aligns with that. It's also a great time to start your own business if you've been wanting to do it. It's a great push in the right direction.
Great excuse.
Yeah, it's like doing the uncomfortable things when you're already very uncomfortable. The perfect time to do it. And also to basically take the opportunity to upskill yourself. And if you feel like your skill set isn't quite there, what do you need to do to make it get better and to make you more attractive in the eyes of employers? Because it's not easy out there, and you need to differentiate yourself, really play to your strengths, but also upskill on your weaknesses if you know they're essential for you getting those roles and getting ahead. And what advice would you have, Ricky?
Everything you just said, but probably a lot less technical.
Everything you said, but better.
No, I probably would just say, God, you said a lot of words in a short time frame. My key points are, don't burn bridges. Like you said, don't take it personal. It might feel personal, but it's not. It's business is business. And take advantage of being given an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity as opposed to something that's happened to you. So someone's given you an opportunity to reevaluate your current life situation. So is this what you want to be doing for the rest of your life? Is this an excuse to try something new? If so, do it. If not, be proactive. Go out, find a job. A job's not going to flutter in by a stork being dropped off in the balcony, and you're going to open the door and be like, oh, a paycheck.
Oh yeah, new job. Oh wait, earn $1 million. This is amazing.
You know, you got to go out and get it. So those would be my key bits of advice. Anything else from you?
That's great advice. You can now hear our dog walking around. Oh no, he's just plonked himself down. Nothing else from me, but yeah, I absolutely think really keep your mindset in check at these pressing times. It's very stressful. You feel like your whole world's crumbling, but things always get better. Focus on the outcomes you do want, which is getting a new job or getting a better one. For example, myself, I ended up in a way better position. I started my own business, and I also got a way better job that paid better and also was more aligned with the career I wanted. So as long as you maintain a growth mindset and keep your outlook open, like, I can overcome this, because you can. You've done hard things before. So we can get dealt shit hands, but it's all about how you play it and what you do next.
I agree. I don't think there's anything else to add.
Cool.
All I would say is take this with a grain of salt, because this is terrible career advice.
Yeah, and you've never been made redundant, so you have no fucking idea.
No. Thank you for listening.
Thanks.